I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast from my head to your ears, and I have a lot to talk about on this November morning. I always do my podcast best when I first wake up in the morning, and that is the case today. I got a good night's sleep, and my thoughts are always clearer in the morning, and I always am a little more introspective, and I enjoy podcasting when I first wake up. It's just me being weird me. So anyway, I'm going to take a break and talk about a lot of things today. No particular theme in this podcast. It's just kind of random again. I do this every now and then. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast from my head to your ears. I shall return. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast from my head to your ears. And like I said, this is a random kind of podcast. I don't really have anything in particular to talk about, but I have a lot of things I want to say. First up, I think the most important thing that's happened to our country this month, and backing up, I don't really like politics. I just don't like them. But I think the presidential election is the exception. It's very important, and it's important for everybody to vote, whatever issues you have in your heart. If you don't vote, you have no right to complain if things aren't going your way. So if you voted, whoever you voted for, good for you. You've made your voice heard. Even if your candidate didn't win, it's time to join together as a country and to move forward with who was chosen, fair and square. The thing that really annoyed me being almost 60 years old, and me having voted for people who lost and for people who won, honestly, you have the disappointment of when your candidate doesn't win. And you hope that all the things you worried about for the reasons why you didn't vote for them won't happen, or maybe the outcome will be different. And you hope that the candidate who won will be the best thing for the country. I will say this, we were in a mess. I don't know whose fault it is. Honestly, you can blame this president or that president. You can blame this or that, but I charged a lady $14 for 2 dozen of eggs, and that's not right. That's way too high. After COVID, it seems like prices tripled, and I personally have issues. I'm struggling for money. I'm down to one income after having two incomes when I was taking care of my mom. And that's not why I took care of my mom, but honestly, it did help to have both our incomes pulled together to live comfortably, at least. Not extravagantly, but comfortably. Now, with one income, I'm not lying, I'm struggling right now. So, the biggest issues in my mind and my heart were the economy. And honestly, I didn't vote with any other issues than that, because that was first and foremost. If I can't pay my bills, I can't live, and I don't like that. So without saying who I voted for, and I'm just not going to tell you who I voted for. You can come to your own conclusions. I don't really care. That's up to you. But that brings me to the next thing. If your candidate didn't win, like I said, you should, have a moment of reflection and pray really hard that the things you worried about this candidate don't happen, and move on. I was a Democrat. Let me put it this way. I voted Democrat and I voted Republican. I straddled the fence on the parties. I'm for the best man, I'm not I'm not going to say my Republican Party or my Democratic Party puts out a candidate that I don't agree with. I'm not going to support them. I'm not going to. That's my choice as an American, and that's what's great about our country. I don't have to support just because I'm a Democrat or Republican. If I don't feel that candidate is right, I will vote for the other candidate. There was people on both sides are very passionate about what they believe in, and I saw some pretty ridiculous things of people melting down because their candidate didn't win, and that I don't think that's a Democratic thing or a Republican thing. I think that's just a personal thing. Sorry, it just doesn't work that way. You're fit throwing, you're protesting, you're excluding of people that didn't vote the way you did. That's pointless. That didn't solve anything. You just look ridiculous. You look like a big baby. So, put your big boy, big girl panties on and get going. Move forward. Go to work. Try to make the world. Do your personal part to make this world a better place. Be kind. Be considerate. Quit doing the poor me game. This feeling sorry for yourself. You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we could have a big tornado come in and destroy our whole area. You could go walk outside and be hit by a truck. The point is, accept what is, do your best, and move on. That's all you can do. Work hard, pray a lot, find God help you, find some kind of point of faith, believe in something, some higher power. I mean, anything to it's just these people that are just crazy. You're such a useless. That's so useless. Anyway, it makes me passionately aggravated to see people act like a big baby, like throwing temper tantrums. I was like, what did we do when we had tantrums as a child? We usually got a good spanking. And that's what I think these people need, is a good spanking. Throw cold water on them or something and say, get with it, snap out of it. It just doesn't do any good. Anyway, that politically is political. A political statement as I'm going to make here is just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move on. I just lost two of the most important women in my life in the last 3 months. And I've had to go to work, and I've had to continue, and I've had to pay my bills, and I've had to take care of my cats, and I have to be responsible. Just like when my parents and my grandparents and everybody has a loss in their life, you have to move on. So that's my big political part of this post. Let's hope that the correct candidate was elected, and let's hope this country can do better, because we have really not done better. We've not done better with our attitudes, with our prices. We're just in a horrible mess right now, and God forbid we get in a war right now. That's big on my mind and my heart right now, because as a country we're really hurt and weakened, and we're not at our best right now, and it scares me. So I just say a prayer every morning, and like I said, you got to get up and you got to live life. And my friends will always be my friends, whether they believe one way or the other. That's just the way it is. If you're my friend, you're my friend for life. My relatives, everybody. I love my family. And my family's full of very passionate people that believe what they believe, and we don't always agree. So what you do is you find your common ground and you don't talk about those things. And if you do talk about those things, you can argue intelligently and move on. And that's that. Try to avoid things that make you mad. Don't get obsessed with things that make you mad. I find myself doing that, and it's just like it just builds anger up in my heart. So anyway, it's all it's just we have to move forward, and that goes with anything, with loss, with elections. You just have to keep going. You've only got one life, people. And friends are precious, and family is precious. It's an awful lonely world without them. So get along. Find your common ground and move on. I feel better now. I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to move on to some other things. I don't really know what I'm going to talk about, but I am going to take a breath here, and I'll be right back with more from my head to your ears. Definitely that came from my head, and that, if you're listening, went in your ears. So I kind of like the title of my podcast. It's fitting. And I am Leonard Riggs. And this is my podcast from my head to your ears. I shall return in a moment. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears. Wish I had a theme song. I know I've said that over and over again, but all cool podcasts have their own theme song. And not saying my podcast is cool, but I'd like to think it is. I'm talking about a lot of random stuff today. I guess I was talking about the election, and then I was talking about my parents. And the journey I'm going through right now is I'm trying to straighten this house. I inherited my house that I grew up in, and I had some misgivings about living here, mainly because it's kind of lonesome. My cats help that lonesomeness quite a bit, but there's a lot of memories here, and I can't decide if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because there's also a lot of emptiness here as well with them being gone. I feel like they're on a trip somewhere, and they're going to come home, and it's just a strange feeling. But I am trying to make this house my own now. I took some things down, and it feels so disrespectful to me to do that. It also feels like if I did anything in this house that my parents wouldn't approve of. See, that's what I'm saying about living in the house you grew up in, living in your parents' house. This was their dream, and my mom had this decorated as she wanted, and my dad loved working on this house. He loved mowing the lawn, and he painted a very beautiful mural of a snowy scene of a sawmill on the wall. And that's a very big point of a reason for me to stay, to protect that picture, because he painted it 50 years ago this month. And it was something he loved painting, and he loved that picture and was proud of it. And anybody that comes here sees that, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. My mom loved it too, but she kind of, she's like me, she likes to change things up. So she said the only thing she didn't like about it was kind of a permanent thing, and she had to decorate the house to match the colors in the picture. And some things would just clash with it, because it's mostly snowy scene with a lot of blue in it. And so she kept her colors kind of blue and white and various shades therein. See, with me, my current thing is red and gray and black. I don't know why. For the longest time, I would. They closed in the front porch when I was a little kid, and they let me pick out the carpeting and the paneling and stuff. Which, you know, I'm a guy, so really you don't think about that stuff a lot. Seriously, you just don't. But I was always partial to the light blue. I love blue and I love brown and I love earthy colors too. So I picked out a blue paneling because I don't like dark paneling. I don't like dark anything. Then I did. It's weird how that changed. And anyway, I picked it out. And then I later realized when I got my house and I painted my living room, I chose the same colors many years later. But it's weird. I don't know what happens to you in your life that changes your favorite colors change so drastically, and I don't know if that's symbolic of anything, but now I prefer kind of grays and blacks and reds, kind of bold statements. It's kind of a darker thing. Maybe that's, I don't know. I like the brightness of the red contrasted with the darkness of black, and then the gray, the in-between, the gray area. I don't know. But it's just me, and it's just my choices now. But I've been working on changing things, and it's just, oh my God, I accumulated so much stuff, and I tend to do retail therapy, and I feel like I'm kind of a hoarder now. Plus, I have things from my house and things from their house, and I feel like I'm just moving a mess around, and then my cats are undoing everything I'm doing, so I get quite flustered. And my house is still a mess, and I have furniture I have to assemble. God, I hate doing that. Excuse me. I do not like assembling furniture, and a lot of times when you buy furniture from retail places, you have to assemble. I have a TV stand that is on my deck, or ramp outside, that I haven't brought in yet, and I have to assemble, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it with my cats because they drive me insane, and there's no place for me to put my cats while I'm trying to work, and it's too big to assemble outside and bring in because I'm by myself. So anyway, it's stuff like that I get flustered with. Plus, like, I clean my floors, and then I turn around and my cats will mess the floor up. They get yelled at, and my bark is way much worse than my bite, so I think my neighbors are going to think I'm killing them in here, or they'll think I'm crazy, but I lose my stuff to be PG rated, and I scream at them, and I know you can hear me all down the street. And funny story, and I'm not telling which neighbor it was, because God, I love my neighbors. But the other night I got really flustered with my cats as I was cleaning, and I had to go out and breathe because one of my cats, Isaac, my good boy, my Isaac, my sweet Isaac, knocked my Keurig off and broke the water reservoir, cracked it. My new Keurig. And I was I was angry. I still get mad thinking about it. And I screamed at them, and I didn't scream at just him. I screamed at all of them because they were just driving me crazy. And I thought, I'm going to go sit outside. And it was a cool night. And I sat down in my chair out there, and I was breathing, trying to calm down, and I could hear my neighbor yelling at her dogs. And I laughed. I said, oh, God. First of all, I thought, yeah, they can hear that. And B, they're doing the same thing I am, so I don't feel so bad. I guess it's just a pet owner thing. You love your pets, but man, when they tear stuff up, it's just so infuriating. It's like your children, I guess. But, these cats, I swear. And trying to do anything with cats is, they follow you everywhere. They've got to be right by you. They got to see what you're doing. They got to get into what you're doing. I'll be putting something together and they'll sit on the box. They won't get off the box, or they'll sit on the pieces of what I'm putting together. And oh my God, I bought them a cat tree that has little branches on it. And I put it together and they were driving me crazy the whole time. And I had to put the branches in like a Christmas tree. And they had little plugs. And I thought, my cats are going to tear those out. There's no way. I was a little disappointed how that was put together. So I bought a glue gun, which I haven't used yet. And of course, they tore all the branches out of it. I had to keep putting them in. Lots of little plugs. Definitely I'll have to glue them in. And now I'm afraid I moved it from the spot I had it in because it wasn't really where it was going to go. I had an idea where it was going to go. When I moved it to where I wanted it, now they don't even bother it anymore. And it's so disappointing because I thought it was such a cool thing, because my Livy likes to climb trees. I might try to sprinkle a little catnip on it, maybe get on it. I don't know, but definitely trying to do anything with cats around is just a task. Even when I cook, they'll all gather in the kitchen and try to get into what I'm doing, and I get so aggravated. It's like I'm claustrophobic, so I can't stand anything closing me in. And my Livy, I swear, if I bend over to pick something up, she'll jump on my back. With her claws out sometimes. And, no, I don't, no, that's not good. And she gets yelled at a lot, and she's devastated when I yell at her. She doesn't understand what I'm yelling at. She's just being Livy. And right now, as I'm speaking, I'm in my room with the door shut, and she's at my door meowing. I hear her. She has the most distinctive meow, and I know it's her. I love that little girl, but I love my cats. They're not going anywhere. They're my cats. I have a lot of people say, you need to get rid of those. No, I certainly can't have any more, but I certainly am not getting rid of my cats. When I come home from work after a bad day, and they're so excited when I get home. They're like dogs. Dogs and cats. My cats rush to me, and now I get kitty kisses and cuddles. I'm a 6'2", 300 pound man, and nothing melts my heart like little kitty cuddles and kisses. That's true. I admit it, okay? Anyway, I love these animals, even though they drive me insane. But I think even when you're in love with a person, they'll drive you crazy. It's just part of. They become such a part of you that they aggravate you. You know, it's like ah. But I wouldn't trade these babies for the world. The other night I fell asleep. When I woke up, I had 5 cats on me, and they're so warm. Now, the only time I don't like that's when it's hot out, because I can't stand being hot. But when it's kind of chilly out, it kind of cuddles. My Sonny, oh my God, that is the cuddliest cat I've ever seen. I've put pictures of him on Facebook and stuff, so you're probably aware, if you know me personally, you're aware of Sonny. But he's a big old boy. He's over 20 pounds. He's kind of got a white chest and gray and black, and he's just a little pink nose, and he's so beautiful and loving. Big old paws, and he just comes up and he just totally cuddles with you. And my Bitsy May's the same way, only she's kind of, you never know, she's kind of changeable. She'll cuddle with you, and then all of a sudden she just darts off. My cats all have different personalities, every one of them. Very distinctive. And my girlfriend, she's my roundabout cat. She leaves and goes to the neighbors. The whole neighborhood has different names for her, because she's been a stray cat, but her legal name is Girlfriend. She's registered as that with the vets. And she comes home and she sees me. She knows my boss's car and a couple of my coworkers' cars, and when she sees their cars, she comes running, and we go in, and I give her some food because a lot of times when she goes out, she isn't home for a couple of days. So I know my neighbors feed her, but I always let her have her own little food, which makes the other cats jealous. But I'm like, you guys are going to eat later. Girl's not had her dinner. And they leave her alone as a general rule and let her eat. And then they come and love on me. So it's all good. But anyway, well, I'm going to take a break and I'll be right back with some more randomness. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears, and I'm back talking about a lot of things, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving, the upcoming holiday, which at this point is just a week away while I'm recording this. And my last podcast was my Halloween episode, which I really enjoyed doing. Thanksgiving has alternately been my favorite holiday. It's always a toss-up between Halloween, Christmas, and Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving would win out sometimes because I used to say it's the only holiday I can kind of enjoy without having to do a lot of work. Now I have to cook my own meal or go somewhere else, but this year is going to be different without Mom, and I don't know whether I want to be, no. I really think I'm going to be low-key this year. I'm thinking I'm going to just make me a meal and spend it with my cats. I'm still up with my fills, and I don't want to ruin everybody's holiday by being emotional. And I just think it's a good time to I've been on a diet of eat what I want. So I'm planning on making lots of potatoes because I can't eat potatoes on this diet. Too many carbs. And anyway, I'll just spend it with my cats and then go visit my sister. That's the way it's looking. I might go to my sister's and have it. I don't know yet. It's still up in the air, but I've had a lot of invites from friends to go, and I love that. I appreciate that, and maybe in the future I will accept those invites, but this year I think I'm going to be low-key. I always like Thanksgiving because it was always the beginning of Christmas. Oftentimes, when I was a kid, they would show cartoons on the Friday after Thanksgiving. They called it post-Saturday morning, and that was always cool. And they'd always show the animated Scrooge, or Christmas Carol cartoon, which I found online. And it's a really good animated version of A Christmas Carol, and that was the first time I ever saw that, was with that cartoon. And it's always fun to see it. I think I found it on Amazon Prime last time. I'd like to have a physical copy of it. I don't know. I prefer physical copies of movies to streaming or anything because a lot of times I can't find what I want to see on the streaming platforms. So that's just the way it is. There's a movie I like to watch every Christmas called A House Without a Christmas Tree, which is a early 70s movie that was actually filmed on video, and it's a really good movie, and I've never seen that on streaming platforms. Maybe it's on Amazon Prime, I don't know. They tend to have everything on there. But anyway, I always enjoy a good meal, and my dad used to watch football. As a matter of fact, he'd drag his Thanksgiving plate and go in the living room and watch feetball, as he said. And that was the sound of football, and the smell of good food always takes me back to Thanksgiving. A couple of times we went to my Aunt Faye's house for Thanksgiving. I don't think we actually had Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving, though. We had the family Thanksgiving on a different date. I loved going to their house and eating. My aunts were such good cooks. Good memories. Lots of good memories. I'm thankful to have those memories, actually. You can kind of pull them out on a sad day and smile a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, holidays aren't going to be the same in my life anymore. So I just accept that. And I've always had to kind of make new traditions anyway because of work. I work a job where you have to work holidays. So I've learned to kind of celebrate around them. First year of doing that, I hated it. I still hate it, but it's not as bad as it used to be. You just learn to do other stuff and do things a different way to enjoy them. Don't have to even have Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving. Have it when you want to. I know a lot of people have Friendsgiving, where they have their friends over for a different meal around Thanksgiving. I think that's a great idea. I don't know, but my favorite part of Thanksgiving is the food. And I'm just going to make all my favorite foods. I don't like turkey. The only way I like turkey is like sliced deli turkey with bacon on a nice roll bun with mayo and tomato, kind of like an Arby's sandwich. Wish I could order 2 Arby's market, whatever they were called, sandwiches with those were so good. I haven't had that in a long time. Arby's doesn't deliver around here. I wish they did. I would get that for Thanksgiving and eat it. Now, I'm going to have a casserole that I make with stovetop stuffing and chicken and corn and cream. That's my Thanksgiving standby for me. I made that last Thanksgiving. It's my last with Mom. And she was kind of she had really declined last year, but she still was with me. And I was trying to think of something easy for her to eat. And I thought, wow. So I got her one of those Marie Callender turkey pot pies. I couldn't have made anything better than that. That kind of defeated me a little bit because I like to cook for her, but she enjoyed that immensely. And then we had some ice cream and I don't remember. I think I bought her a little pumpkin pie, and she ate her pumpkin pie. And she had an okay Thanksgiving. Christmas wasn't, so she slept through Christmas. I had Christmas off last year, and she slept right through it. And it was warm last year, and I hate warm Christmases. It was so hot in here. I was trying to cook, and I got flustered, and my house was a mess, and my cats were aggravating me, and it was just my mom's last Christmas, and I wanted it to be so special, and I couldn't wake her up to even eat. So that was kind of disappointing. But it is what it is. Can't do nothing about it. I was thankful that I had my mom for as long as I did. And for the fact that she's, for the most part, was comfortable and pleasant. So if I'm looking for things to be thankful about, it's one of them. I was also thinking forward to Christmas. I really would like to put some Christmas lights out. I'd like to see Christmas lights through my windows. It's just a little more cheerful that way. And I'm playing a lot of music. I've got to hook the little stereo back up that I have in my living room that I got for Mom, so I can play music out loud. My cats kind of like music. They tend to calm down. And I had the biggest surprise this year. I found out that they had reworked some Olivia Newton-John's Christmas songs, and they did a whole album called Angels in the Snow, and it's coming out actually tomorrow. It's coming out on streaming platforms, and it's being released on vinyl, which I pre-ordered a long time ago. And they reimagined a lot of her songs, and so far the 2 I've heard I really love. It's amazing that they can take the vocals and turn the song in a different direction. They took one of her songs, All Through the Night, with Michael McDonald, and turned it into a country song. And it works. I think it's better than the original. And I'm looking forward to hearing the remix and remake of some of these songs. I love the whole idea of reimagining. Anyway, I've got Olivia for Christmas. I never thought that would happen again. So that kind of makes me happy. And also, I forgot about the Macy's Day Parade on Thanksgiving. I get to watch that this year since I'm going to be home. And Kylie Minogue's going to be on it. I believe, if I read that correctly. So there's another reason to watch the Macy's Parade. Kylie's my other Aussie female singer that I love so much. I've been an American fan of hers, which is kind of an enigma. Actually, for so long, since she began, I had to buy imports because for some reason she was not marketed in the U.S. after her first album. And she kind of disappeared until the early 2000s, but she had another hit and another hit album here. But I think she kind of gathered the fans along the way, and now in her late 50s, she's got another comeback, and she's doing quite well. So it's going to be great to see her on the Macy's Parade. So she just has a new album out, too. So anyway, as far as my entertainment side of myself, I'm very happy with that. I wish there was a good movie coming out that I would love to see. Hollywood just turns me off anymore. Haven't gone to the theater in many, many years, and me being a movie lover, that's really a travesty. But anyway, I'm going to get off here, and I think I'm going to wrap it up. I think I've been in your ear long enough. I think we've delved into my head long enough as well. I need to get up and do some housework and have a cup of coffee. So I'll be right back to close it up. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast from my head to your ears. I'll be right back. Hi, I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears, and I'm winding it up. Thank you for listening. I've enjoyed kind of getting some things onto my podcast and out of my head. I had a little bit to share this time. Like I said, hopefully my political statements didn't make you mad. That's as political as I'll ever get. I just want to see everybody get along. I want this country to move forward, and I want us to be better. And hopefully everybody stops doing the blame game. And I hope we don't go into another war. I don't think we're going to survive it, I'm afraid, if we do. So anyway, on those negative notes and positive notes, I'm going to let you go. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast from my head to your ears. Thank you for listening. And you can reply, send me messages. I have a Facebook page for my podcast. It's oddly called From My Head to Your Ears. You can find it on Facebook and you can like it. And I just post updates as to when and links to my podcast as to when I have a new podcast out, or if I want to bring an old one out, and suggest that you listen to it if you haven't already. I'm going to be a little more interactive with it. I think maybe, for instance, when I talk about something on my podcast, I might feature pictures or whatever on my Facebook page. So anyway, check it out if you're on Facebook. I actually have an Instagram page as well, and it's also called, oddly enough, From My Head to Your Ears. I don't have a Twitter account, or X account. Sorry, I don't like X. I never did I never cared for that too much, even when it was Twitter. I've always had an account. I always do it every now and then, but I don't really participate in it as much. But anyway, I keep talking. Goodbye. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears. Thank you.